Hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome to Big Z CashCity Picks Wild Card Weekend Edition. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, down the final stretch. Season went by too fast. I hate it, because now we know we're gonna get through playoffs to the Super Bowl and then we're gonna have to wait forever for some more football. But you know what? We've been working at it all season, trying to do the best we can. I don't know what our final numbers are yet in terms of percentages. I gotta crunch those, but I am happy to report Week 18 results. As a recap, we went 3-1. Finally, we see the light. Big money picks were 2-0. We got paid big by Pittsburgh and Buffalo, covering those big money picks for us. So we are actually, yes, the only part that didn't come through for us was Jacksonville, just falling apart. Trevor Lawrence, there was so much love and talk and hype about you in the beginning. Now you've been in the NFL how many years? And we're not even making the playoffs. But anyway, Tampa Bay in a tough division matchup against Carolina, covered in an ugly game, 9-0, rounding out our 3-1. Okay, so moving forward, the wild card weekend is upon us. First game coming up is Cleveland on the road to Houston. Cleveland is favored by 2 points. Flacco has playoff experience. Flacco has been throwing really well in the last several games he's played and throwing 300-yard games. A few weeks ago, Flacco already shredded this defense. They beat Houston 36-22. Flacco was all over them. Granted, CJ Stroud did not play, so that game's going to be closer. But how much closer? Cleveland does have a defense, right? Number 2, number 3, number 4 defense in the league. Cleveland is only favored by 2. I think Cleveland wins this game by 7 points. 4 to 7 points easy. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they won by 10. On the other hand, Houston, they are at home. They will have CJ Stroud. But like every rookie, he's going to face himself in the playoffs. That's a big stage. Not very many rookies are comfortable. It's a whole different level. It's a whole other existence when you're on that kind of a field. And very few quarterbacks get away with feeling comfortable. Last year, Brock Purdy, my goodness, surprised everybody with his comfort level on a playoff field. This year, maybe CJ Stroud will be the man, but I don't think he will be the quarterback with enough talent on his own rookie year to fend off the Cleveland Browns. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go Cleveland to cover 2 units. Let's go to Cash City. Let's get there. We will be ready when they pay the man. Next up, where do we find value? I think we find it in the Green Bay-Dallas game. Green Bay is on the road, visiting Dallas. Dallas is favored by 7 points. Dak has been there before. Hasn't had a whole lot of wild success, but he's been there. Love, on the other hand, it's going to be his playoff debut. Again, like CJ Stroud, it's going to be a big stage for him. The way he has been passing very well. But Dallas has a passing defense that can match that. Dallas has been hungry and waiting to get past the first round. Dak and company, I think, are ready to take theirs. They're at home. They're going to be completely comfortable. They're going to be completely prepared. Not that Green Bay can be feisty on a passing game when they find themselves in situations. I almost wanted to take Green Bay, but looking deeper into these situations and historicals, it's got to be Dallas's turn to cover 7 points. We are going to go 1 unit. Actually, let's change that. We're going to go half a unit because of the volatility that might be inherent in these passing games. Dallas will cover 7 points, half a unit. It's the Cowboys' turn in the first round. Let's go. Moving along to our third pick of the week. After boiling everything down, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at the Rams. The Los Angeles Rams on the road to Detroit, where they will be playing safe and indoors. Detroit is favored -3. Detroit also saw the loss of their star tight end Laporta last week. The Rams, on the other hand, are playing on major momentum. They have done really well coming down the stretch. It seems like the team has solidified. This is going to be great. Goff and Stafford, coming from their old respective teams, now they're facing each other in the playoffs. Except I think Goff has lost a major part of his offense. Laporta's his number 2 receiver on that team. When they didn't have a tight end last year, Goff and the Lions weren't so hot until the final stretch, down the stretch of the year at the end of the last season. This season, you give them a good tight end and Goff likes to throw his tight end, as he did when he was at the Rams, throwing to Higbee. Now that part of the game is gone. No Laporta. So, does the running game beat the Rams on its own? The Rams can stop most run games, as they have all season. Though there's a couple games here and there. What was it, the Eagles and the 49ers that ran all over them? But those are top tier running games. Not that Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery can't handle business when it comes to carrying the rock. But I think the Rams are up to it. They are a playoff experienced team. The Lions, this just might be too much for them, except for Goff, because Goff is the one who's been to the playoffs before, and in the Super Bowl even. So Goff will be level-headed leader there, but he will be on his own. The Rams, on the other hand, have a mentality of remembering that they were there and they knew what it took to get there. They had a miserable season last year. The year before that, they were on top of the world, and now they're back. They just needed a few new moving parts, namely Nakua and then Williams on the running game. Those guys revived the Rams, and the Rams are on major momentum. I say we take the Rams on the road, 1 unit, Rams plus 3 points. They will cover. They get the 3 points. They'll take us to Cash City, where we are going to get paid. Okay, guys, and our fourth and final pick. If you notice, we didn't pick any of the snow games. Miami, KC, I didn't take a look at. Pittsburgh and Buffalo, I didn't want to put my money there either. That kind of snow and that kind of cold levels the playing field, and anything can happen, and it's hard to read who's going to do what on a consistent manner. So I stayed away from it. I took the indoor games and the softer weather games. Now, that brings us to Philly at Tampa Bay. These teams also are a bit of a challenge. Everybody easily wants to say the Eagles, Philadelphia. Have you seen the shambles they've been in coming down the stretch? Ever since they played the 49ers, they've never been the same team. I mean, 2 weeks ago, they lost to Arizona. I get it, Arizona was surging, they got their quarterback back, they got their running back. But still, if you're the Eagles, if you were in the Super Bowl last year, how are you going to lose to the likes of Arizona? That's a big red flag for me. I know I could be wrong. Of course, the big favorites are the Eagles. But you know what? That minus 3 points, that tells you something about people's faith. The powers that be, their faith in the Eagles. Minus 3 points is anybody's game. Usually the home team gets the 3-point advantage if the teams are the same. So you're telling me these teams are that close? The Bucs, on the other hand, Baker Mayfield, has he ever been to the playoffs? I don't think so. Comes of playing out of an ugly division, though they do have some momentum. Granted, they took that loss to New Orleans in a vicious new 23-13 loss. NFC South Division games those are hard for me to even look at in terms of figuring them out. But there's no denying Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers have been on a momentum. So Tampa Bay plus 3 against the Philadelphia that has definitely something wrong with it. 3 games ago when it mattered, they beat the New York Giants, but you better beat the New York Giants. But they let the Giants put 25 points on them. Scoring 33 points is respectful as a winning team, but letting the Giants put 25 points on you when they're the Giants of this year? The Eagles have me concerned. Game before that, they lost to the Seahawks. They were at Seattle, 20-17. The Seahawks are a mediocre team. I wonder if they even had Geno Smith at that time. When they lost to the Seahawks by 3 points, it was Drew Lock, the backup, playing. That tells me that my concern about the Eagles' ability to stay strong and be that powerful team that we once knew, I think it holds water. My point holds water. I think we're taking Tampa Bay plus 3. They're at home, stunning the Eagles and getting us to Cash City. Let's go Tampa Bay. We'll go half a unit and we will go to a place where they will pay the man.